if we get any kind of message of intelligent life, then I'm going to...
Okay, why are we taking truth from this guy? Look at him. You can't see his eyes. And have you ever seen a face like that? No. You can't trust NASA.
suggest our scientists try to make contact with it.
As we all know, science is something you do on your own experience.
Astronomers have spent decades searching for objects from outside.
Okay, it's been decades since they're searching outside the Diamond Dome that they can't get in or out of. And of course, all they can show you is CGI or some stage footage of someone who's supposedly moving a half a mile an hour, but in reality moving thousands of miles an hour. Correct? With a solar panel. And are those what, clouds? And where's the sun? Don't tell me it doesn't look like a light show.
Outside our own solar system. But it is precisely when all hope seems lost that the most marvelous things occur.
Okay, look at the screen. Okay, where there's no sun, so what that's supposed to be is lights, and of course you can see the green screen right there in the mask of the astronaut. What? It's a new suit. It's a new suit. What's on the hands? Is that supposed to be? Look, those are solar panels. We know how well those work.
This was the situation for
and let's not forget, they have no signal up there. We can't even get signal here unless you're facing a tower. And then what is that, an umbrella? And why is nothing moving? And where is the big light?
Astronomers. After decades of nothing,
CGI, computer graphics, 100%
happened.
digital.
Two objects arrived at once.
Look.
Scientists and astronomers from across the globe,
and nothing is
SETI,
moving.
and even NASA participated in the investigation of these mysterious visitors. What can we learn from them?
What are we
How
learning?
did they get started?
What is moving?
Where did they originate?
Except for the screen.
When can we anticipate the arrival of the next one?
On this screen.
The first object to emerge from the void of space was barely visible through the telescope of a Hawaii-based space observatory.
The only way you can see it is if you buy one of their telescopes, which is of course concave, just like the camera or anything else they give you. You can't trust those either.
Discovered to have originated from Vega, an alien star located.
And you can't forget the original story, what they're telling you. Remember, we're supposed to be zooming through space, moving, and the sun, big light, is not moving. And no one has ever seen this in their life.
Located 147 trillion miles away.
147 trillion... what, light years away? Light's not moving. Okay, and what are they showing you? Since when is this real? It used to be, they used to tell us it was like infrared light or something. Either way, to believe the official story, you'd be bonkers.
Through space at a speed of 57,000 miles per hour.
There you go. So, okay, here we go. Oumuamua is showing up. The big outer space log of poop.
Shaped like a cigar and measured 1,000 meters in length.
Yeah, where's the light? Where is the light? Where's that from? In the middle of nowhere. And let's not forget, who's taking this footage? Is it supposedly something that, no, there's no way. How would they bring it back here? You can't even go to another country and get reception. And
it's not very large for a comet or an asteroid. Assuming it was a comet or an asteroid.
There. Look what they're showing you. This is pre-predictive programming. This is supposed to be the alien. How big is the alien, and why is it's see-through? And their official, you got to remember, their official story tells you there's people on Mars, slaves, okay? The only Mars they have is going to be something right here on Earth, where we live. Maybe not on our map, but where we live. You know, it's like, yeah, we don't really know how big it is down here, but we can see the top. And nothing's getting in or out.
It may have been formed into a disk, resembling a spaceship, and by the time it was discovered, it had already zipped by our sun.
How did they know that?
Performed a sharp turn.
How do they know that? What are they showing us? Why won't they show us anything real if that's really, how can they have such amazing footage? They can't. It's not real. Since when do we not know the difference between a cartoon and reality? I'm going to tell you how you don't, because if they tell you it's not real, you believe it's not real. Well, majority of people, right? But if you're like watching a movie and it's like an action movie, it looks completely real, but you know, in real life, you don't see flying cars moving around. Correct?
Turned and was speeding off in another direction. A movement
Okay,
and
so we're
behaviour
going to
that
use
are
our
highly
imagination, and we're just going to accept that this is what? CGI, and we're how would this even be remotely accurate? Is that supposed to be our solar system? Where's the sun? Where's the big light? Isn't that supposed to be the center of our solar system? So what is this? Are those supposed to be others? I don't even know where to start. 93 million miles away. It's Freemason coded for your 3 6s. In numerology, it doesn't matter if it's a 6 or a 9, if it's upside down. It doesn't, they don't, you gotta imagine if, you know, the universal language, signs and symbols and numerologies does not include, a language. You have to remember the difference between what you've seen on the screen and what you've seen in real life. And when you look up in the sky.
unnatural for an asteroid or comet. Just as astronomers were recovering.
The asteroid and comet, it may be hard because maybe you haven't heard it, but flying rocks, no. No flying rocks and no melting rocks. And look at how clear the footage is and why is nothing moving? Where's the space junk? And why does it look like it's in a studio? What is that light? Is that their light? Where are they getting the power? What is that? NOD3C28. Always Freemason coded, always triple numerology, Pythagorean numerology, Chaldean numerology, right in your face. They'll never ever leave it out. And once you're aware of that and you're looking at it, you can't deny it. And yes, if you are aware of it and you may say, well, Lana, it's everywhere, right? Every street, every sign, even on our names or whatever. Okay, well, there you go. It's on everything. After 6,000 years, yes, it's on everything.
Suffering from the shock and confusion caused by this unexpected visitor.
Okay, so here we are. They're showing you a big antenna in the middle of nowhere. Is that dust balls or is that supposed to be ice that grows up above the water?
There was yet another. Gennady
Another.
Borisov, an engineer and amateur astronomer, observed a moving
well, now that they said engineer and astronomy, I can't say anything. And their telescope. But in the meantime, they've shown us nothing but digital representation, and we have to take their word for it. Simply on it's at the end of the day, it's coercion and bullying and peer pressure.
Object against the pre-dawn sky from his personal observatory in Orkney, Crimea.
Yeah, except no one's ever seen that, even from their personal sky. Don't you remember when they released the P900, right, which is supposed to be like, 9,000 or something, whatever it is, MG or whatever they have, their lettering, right? Like we have, when you're looking at the screen, 320 or 720, which of course, or 14, and whatever it is, it still looks the same.
Using a telescope he had constructed himself. Even upon first glance, he recognized...
What are we supposed to be looking at here? What is that? It looks like a purple mushroom with, space junk around it? I'm sure that's what he saw out of his telescope.
It was traveling in the opposite direction of the comets.
No one ever sees that through their telescope unless they're giving you a TV screen. The closest they're going to get to this in real life is something like Disneyland, where you sit in a chair and your screens are VR, virtual reality, metaverse, and they shake your chair and show you some image. Okay, very similar to what you see like on TV or like on the news, where whatever it is, it's just some green screen background and someone's standing there pointing, or you can clearly see they're not there. And this, no one thinks they are there. They just accept it, and they, at the end of the day, they don't care what the truth is anymore. It's not important to them.
The main asteroid belt that encircles the sun.
An asteroid belt.
The only remaining question is whether these interstellar visitors are of natural.
Everyone's circulating the big light. In the meantime, all we see is the big light moving from east to west. No one's moving. Okay? They fly, they build, they sail. Everything is on a flat plane. Correct? Now, you want to think of it more like a pizza. You can see that it's curved. Okay, so don't let them show you some stupid map where they're falling off. They show you a time zone map. They have quadrants for it. Yes, I think it is bigger than that, but they keep us within this area, and no one's going. Not only can you not get out of the sky, which the Bible tells you in the first page is molten glass, which I would call diamond dome, correct? And they tell you water on the outside. Is it water on the outside? Definitely some type of layer of blue. And you can see it right there. They're showing you it.
Natural or artificial origin. For that, we will have to travel to their homeland to find out. The first interstellar traveler came from the Vega star system and was given the Hawaii name.
Let's not remember. Okay, here we go. We're on a video about spacecrafts entering our solar system. They're getting ready for their alien invasion psyop, where they're going to give us some type of holographic image. Of course, we'd much rather see that than them using the creator, of course, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to be both. And they've been prepping us for a long time that all our religions are the same and that we've been created by aliens. Okay, and when they say aliens, it's just another way of them saying that it's the elite, these negative blood, Freemason elite rulers who've been controlling us, and they call themselves aliens. Yes, they have.
Which means scout. Their homeland to find out. The first interstellar traveler came from the Vega star system and was given the Hawaii name, Oumuamua.
The first, it's so beyond. Okay, so here, the Vega star system. So clearly we are aware this is a cartoon. Is this supposed to be their sun in it and their planet? Oumuamua. What is this, 2015? The first time I learned about Oumuamua, it was from David Will Cock.
Which means scout. Vega is referred to as the past and future's North Star.
They never said that these pictures were real. They would say that they were drawings and depictions of supposable their psychic ability, or Corey Good getting what? He said he was, they always have some type of story, right? That he was being kidnapped and put in some chair. And again, even if he is being kidnapped and put in some chair, that's virtual reality. It's not real. And why would we take that story as real? Since when do we pick the TV over real life?
Star. Vega is a brilliant star located just 25 light years from...
Why? Why does it matter? Because they've been pushing this on us since the day we were born. NASA, they steal from our checks in the name of this whole space, and there are many psyops that go along with it, many brainwashes, so they can enslave us mentally, which in turn enslaves us physically. Okay? entrapped us by giving each generation, the one before us, a more watered down, nicer, like they say, oh, so we can find out more about who we are. But we realize all the stories they told us it wasn't real. And they're never going to tell us the truth. We either figure it out ourselves, we either talk about it amongst ourselves, or we get no answers. And then we die and we don't have any reference point. There's a lot of people that don't even believe in a creator. And how in the world did that happen? They've been mumbled and jumbled so much that it is beyond that we can imagine that. But it's a very old story that they've told all the religions, where one passed on the story and then one didn't want to pass on the story, the next generation, and then it got to the next generation that didn't even know how to ask the question, correct?
Is from Earth, visible in the northern hemisphere's summer sky. Because the Earth's axis wobbles over a period of
wobbles. We've never felt the wobble. We've never seen their planets. As far as you could say they're all freaking drones. I'm not saying all the night lights and all the AKA stars are drones. I'm just saying we've never seen that. We just see the same lights every night.
Of 26,000 years, our perception of North gradually shifts to different stars. Vega was a North Star many millennia ago, and it will regain that position.
Now, taking this standpoint is not feeble, okay? People don't get to this point because they're stupid. It's the stupid people that believe in this, okay? Only in 2023 would I ever be considered stupid, okay? Most people call someone credible if they have 1 degree. But apparently, once you have 3 or 4, it's just beyond thinkable, correct? And this is okay.
In approximately 12,000 years.
12,000 years.
Early in 2013.
No one's going to be alive in 12,000 years. And again, they're showing you floating rocks. When have you ever seen a rock float? There is weight. It's weight, not gravity. Okay? It's just language. It's not that big of a deal. But if we just went back to common sense and kind of put all that aside, we would be a lot closer to the truth.
Astronomers discovered an asteroid belt surrounding Vega, suggesting the presence of extraterrestrial planets among the rock.
This is all fantasy, and it may be nice for virtual reality, but for real life, it's not going to do us much good. And they gave you the Matrix, and people are getting really close to going into that reality. And they've been pushing on you, oh, all life is a simulation. Well, at some point it may be, but not yet. Not yet. Okay? And if you say, okay, well, it kind of feels like we're already dead or something like that, well, then there's still going to be a difference between what we are doing now and when we die. There is a difference. And why are we here? Why are we here? Is it to be with our people? Is it to protect our people? To maybe get some of them out? Clearly, if there was a hell, they want us in it here. They're not here to help us. They stole our resources and they blame it all on us. They divide us in every possible way they can, from everything: color, religion, race, state, country. It just never ends. Even if you could have all those same things in common with someone, you still are going to be divided on some type of ideology.
The layout indicates that there are 2 regions: an outer region with icy asteroids and an inner region with warmer space rocks.
Why?
The name Oumuamua referred to one of these rocks. NASA had only 11 days to observe it,
So
as it was...
not only are they rocks, now they're rocks with aliens in them. the official story is on the way, because that's what they've been giving us through their whistleblowers. Wonder what they're blowing. Ugh, is that there's invisible blue balls, I kid you not, of all sizes, everywhere. Okay, again, if there's any truth in that, you need to look at the metaphor and the parable behind it, that they're constantly watching you. Maybe not you in particular. There's no one behind the wheel. It's a cloud, it's an analog. It doesn't need to. They've given us the proof through China. Okay? One person is watching 1 million people, and they have to do nothing until they are informed, because nothing is going on.
As it was travelling at 3 times the speed of Earth's orbit around the Sun.
3 times the speed of Earth's orbit. So what is it, moving 1,000,000 miles an hour? I'm getting dizzy just thinking about it. The only time I ever have any reference point to what they are talking about is on like acid in my 20s, where maybe there's some type of visualization where the wall, you can kind of like go, you gotta remember, you experiment with drugs, it's pretty much just taking your IQ down to about 10% of what it really is, okay? And if you stare at something long enough, you may be able to make it kind of like rotate or move a little bit, or you kind of like, your eyes start crossing. That's it. That's all we got. Or how about vertigo? Which is, again, would be a mockery or putting us down, because vertigo is something that happens because, our body's been tinkered with chemicals and so forth, or other diseases through the chemicals, food, vaccine, and water, which we've been taking since we were born.
Then it was no longer detectable because it was too small and dim to be seen. It entered our solar system.
For all the tons of space junk and tons of asteroids, no one ever seen it except for the archaeologist or the geologist. Do any of us know anyone who is those? No. Have I ever met a scientist? One scientist, and he was working at a cancer institute, and he was torturing animals.
And, after passing Earth, abruptly accelerated out of our solar system.
Yeah, okay, that's looking more like what we've seen, right? Oh, well, we've seen shooting stars. Are they really shooting stars? It could be anything. Haven't you ever seen the light show for New Year's? They have light shows without the fireworks, and they can make anything in there. Tons of them. Right?
While tracking Oumuamua, we anticipated that its orbit would be hyperbolic, with only gravitational force acting on it.
Gravitational force.
But it did not, as if there were an additional acceleration, as if something unseen were pushing it in addition to gravity. By the time it was spotted, the cigar-shaped object had already zipped by our sun, performed a slick hip turn.
Okay, so I don't know if we're beyond repair here, but again, we have still only been watching a cartoon. I've seen more realistic stuff on Star Trek, and especially on an action movie, and especially on the news. And more so on the action movie. But this just looks like a big log of shit.
Hip turn, and began speeding off in a different direction.
Speeding off in a different.
Scientists were particularly preoccupied with 2 issues.
Here you go. Here they're scientists. Okay, so what are they showing us? What are they showing us? Plaid, Freemasonry, and things you can't make out. Okay, nope, not books to make them look smart. Instead, we got here. So I'm looking at empty screens, and this up here is something how they used to show us, where it's like black and white, and it would be like they try to make it out. And that's another thing. Now, that's, I think, what their official story really is, right? Like, just like when they find the fossils or the bones, and they say, oh, well, we know what it used to look like, but of course none of us have ever seen it, and it's not anywhere. And then here, something else you can't make out. Oh.
Media headlines were rife with wild speculation. Despite NASA's best efforts to categorize it as an asteroid, then a comet, then an asteroid, and then a comet again. It became abundantly clear that we had no idea what it was. To be frank, we still do not. However, Harvard astronomer...
If it's abundantly clear that you haven't figured out what it is, then why did you go into the whole Vega thing? Because of the historian Avi Loeb. Here, read your script, Avi.
Avi Loeb suggested that it could be an artificial structure created by an intelligent alien civilization. Finally, someone had the courage to say what everyone was thinking, because whatever it was, it challenged our physics and perplexed everyone. After reaching its closest point to the sun, the object began leaving the solar system at a speed of approximately 95,000 kilometers per second, which is extremely fast relative to our sun. More than sufficient to ensure its escape from our star's gravity. Contrary to what would be expected
this is good. Let's just
from a rough and irregular comet, during outgassing of its ices, the comet accelerated in a very smooth and steady manner, despite its enormous velocity. Such behaviour by a naturally occurring comet is exceedingly unlikely. On October the 7th, 2017, it was moving towards the Pegasus constellation.
We're gonna go back. Let's go back to because I never leave out their coding. October 7th, 2017, hoax code 37777. It's right there in your face. Also, October for your 11 and 7, that's 77. Hoax code again, 77. Okay?
Constellation, en route to an unknown destination. With the technology available at the time, it was impossible to photograph.
Why are the stars moving like that, but we have never seen them move like that? And where are they getting this footage? They're not getting the footage.
Oumuamua, in close proximity. Consequently, the data at hand is all we will ever have.
And let's not forget that the people that are giving us the information are the same people that are, validating it, right? They're the same people. Okay? That doesn't make it legit. Actually, none of it's legit. From the top, and then as it trickles down, maybe some of those people are legit, but they're gonna be spewing nothing new. And that's why they're there. Here we go. Oumuamua. And then if that's supposed to be the sun, then what is that supposed to be?
All of its peculiar characteristics have a single plausible explanation. A new study suggests that it could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft with a light sail. Indeed, an artificial origin.
This is not enough to go from this to that. Nor have we seen that, but even if we did, and we will, because clearly they've shown us everything else, and apparently everything that we've been programmed with must occur, because they would never let it go to waste. Nothing goes to waste here, right? Holographic. If it's not holographic, so the fuck what? What is it? A plane not moving? So what? They barely move anyway. 300 miles an hour? Really?
Origin would clearly describe the alien's many peculiar characteristics. Initially classified as a comet, the object was reclassified as an asteroid after observations failed to reveal a tail or fuzzy coma.
Miles an hour?
The discovery of Oumuamua was an anomaly.
RPM. It has nothing. Remember,
Our solar system does not produce any Oumuamua-like debris. Using the Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia and the Allen Telescope Array in Northern California, astronomers have listened for any potential Oumuamua signals.
Oh, here we go. What is that? It just keeps getting, no one cares.
Using the Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia and the Allen Telescope Array in Northern California, astronomers have listened for any potential Oumuamua signals. The object has been silent thus far. Fortunately, 2I Borisov proved to be significantly easier to decipher than its cosmic companion. It has been confirmed as the first ever interstellar comet. 2I Borisov is believed to have been composed of a mixture of water, dust, and carbon monoxide, similar to those.
No. What they have are those huge pollution clouds that are sitting up in the sky that we go through when we're in the plane and we fly above them. We go through them. They call them that turbulence. They have that. They throw some bombs in the water. They're constantly manipulating the weather and constantly giving people destruction. Right? One area and then they hit the other area. And then bombs, I don't know. I've never really seen a bomb. I've heard bombs, guns or whatever. But we know that they've done, we've seen also, they're more like targeted. Like when they gave us those, remember they showed us all those wildfires, and it would be like one house is completely dead, and then the other house is fine, and there's green all around, and it's completely or just like the tornado where they decide exactly where it goes. No doubt. They want to take something down, they will.
To those found at the solar system's periphery. It had a visible tail and was roughly what scientists had anticipated.
Showing this. Look at that. That's supposed to be, oh yeah, our sun, right? It's supposed to be a big ball of fire. Shit.
However, to Borisov makes Oumuamua seem even stranger. It is believed to have originated from an ancient solar system, revolving around a red dwarf star, the dimmest and most common type of star in our galaxy. Based on its speed and trajectory, one international team has hypothesized